So, hello everybody, welcome. My name is Kim Shea. I am the Dean of Nursing and Health Sciences at Mount Wachusett Community College. Thank you all so much for coming out today and helping us celebrate our very special graduates. It's truly an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the incredible accomplishments of our veterinary technician class from 2025 at Mount Wachusett Community College. Graduates, what you have completed is nothing short of remarkable. You've spent years at this point, emerged in anatomy, and you can nod your heads that, yep, we did. Pharmacology, radiology, lab techniques, and countless hours of hands-on clinical. You've studied tirelessly, cared deeply, and built the skills needed to step into a career that blends medicine, science, and most importantly, compassion. Becoming a veterinary technician is no small feat. It is a path that demands not only intellectual rigor, but emotional strength. You've comforted anxious pet owners, assisted in life-saving procedures, held pause during final goodbyes, and celebrated the joy of healing. You've learned to be calm in crisis, meticulous in detail, and tender in your care. But your education at Mount Wachusett Community College has done more than teach you how to draw blood, run diagnostics, or assist in surgery. It has prepared you to advocate for animals that cannot speak and for families that rely on your knowledge of the veterinary profession. Vet techs are the unsung heroes of the animal healthcare world. You are the steady hands and compassionate hearts behind every single procedure. You are the teachers, the translators, the technicians, and the caregivers all at once. And starting today, you join the ranks of those who make a meaningful difference every single day in the lives of both the animals and the families of the animals that you serve. I like the nodding of the heads, yep. As you get ready to walk across the big stage next week and into your future, remember that the real strength of this profession lies in its humanity. You'll be called upon to serve not just for your skills, but for your spirit, your empathy, patience, and resilience. And you most definitely are ready. You're ready because you've been trained by some of the most dedicated faculty and clinical partners in the region. You're ready because you've faced long nights, early mornings, and unexpected moments with grit and grace. You are ready because you chose this work not just as a job, but as a purpose. And to the families and loved ones here today, thank you for your support, your encouragement, and your belief in our students. To our faculty and staff, thank you all so much for your wisdom, mentorship, and passion that you pour into this program. A special thanks to your program director, who if I make eye contact, she may start crying, so I'm not going to look over here. And to you all again, congratulations. You've earned every ounce of pride and celebration that today brings. Go forward boldly, heal with compassion, speak for those without a voice, and know that you will always be part of the Mount Wachusett Community College legacy. Congratulations to you all. And now, without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to welcome President Jim Vanderhoeven to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a real honor to be up here to welcome you all and to congratulate our graduates. It's kind of funny. When I walked up, I asked, is this the 5th graduating class of this program? Is it the 7th? Really? That means I've been here a while. But it's awesome, too, that we're at a point where I couldn't remember. Because, when I first arrived here at the Mount, the Vet Tech program was kind of a dream at that point, and an opportunity for us to, really build a program. And it is so awesome to be here for the 7th graduating class of the Vet Tech program. So I just have a couple of things. First and foremost, I really want to thank Mayor Mike Nicholson for being here. Mayor of Gardner, thank you for not only your support of this program on the advisory board, but also of the college overall. You're a great partner to the college and the region. So thank you for taking the time to be here this afternoon. I have a question for our graduates, and just by a show of hands, how many of you, an hour before your orientation for this program, how many of you didn't know a single other student in the program? So there are 2 of you that knew 1, but the rest of you didn't know anyone. Does this look like a group that doesn't know each other? One of the things that I talk about, and I really emphasize this at orientations, and there are really 3 big things that I ask of our incoming students. And maybe you'll remember these, but clearly the fact that you're here today is evidence that you did these 3 things. The first thing is build relationships, not only with one another, but with your dedicated faculty who are here to support you tonight. You really had to, right, to really get, you might not have always agreed, things might not have always been great, but it is actually when those times were tough that having those fully developed relationships and being able to draw on one another made the difference, right? To be successful or not successful. So you did that. The second thing I really emphasized was to get family and friends on board before the semester begins. Now, you might not remember me saying that, but it is a really big deal for students to make sure that family and friends who they live with or who they engage with or they're in relationship with, that they understand what the student is about to go through. I use the analogy that, in October, on October 5th, a Wednesday night, maybe it's a Wednesday night, that, that's usually the student's night to do all the grocery shopping. Well, if they have a big midterm on Thursday morning, they weren't going to be going to the grocery store. And if they waited to the last minute to say, oh, I'm not going grocery shopping, fill in the blank example, it isn't going to go very well. But by evidence of you all here, family and loved ones and friends of our graduates, it is clear to me that they had your support from day one, or they wouldn't be here this evening. So you did that second thing. The final thing, and I really emphasize this one, is that a sign of strength is the ability to ask for help. How many of you made it through this program without even once ever having to ask for help? My streak is intact. 25 years of working in higher education, and I have never met a graduate who hasn't had to ask for help. And a lot of our students come in and they think, oh, I can't ask. I can't let anybody know that I don't know the answer to this or I don't know who to turn to. It is actually a huge, huge sign of strength to be able to ask for that help. So whether it was family, friends, whether it was each other, whether it was our faculty, staff, library, tutors, advisors, Tara, you overcame that hesitation to ask for help, and you became successful as a result. As Dr. Shea said, we are so proud of you. This is a challenging program. And you've done your best and you've made it. We really wish you the very best in your next chapter, wherever that may be. But we're very proud of you, and congratulations. Now, I do have to do one thing before I go back to my seat, and this is the annual start to a tradition that I have, which is the presidential selfie. I've been taking selfies with graduating classes now for 8 years, and the vet tech pinning ceremony is always the first pinning ceremony of the season. So you all, you can't mess this up. You have to do really well, right? Okay, we'll do that. Again, congratulations to you all. Congratulations to all of you. You should be very proud. Enjoy the evening and enjoy the pinning ceremony. Thank you very much. Do they seem energetic enough? You have to set the bar really high. All right. There we go. All right. Congratulations.
I'm definitely not as tall as he is. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, President Vanderhoeven, and I'm dropping things. Sorry. So I'm Tara Novak. I'm the program director, and I've had the privilege of working with these guys for the past 2 years, and that's all I'm going to say because I'm already choking up. This is why I don't talk at these things. So I want to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Ed Carlson. He is a certified veterinary technician and a vet tech specialist in nutrition. Ed is the director of veterinary nursing for VetBloom. He's active in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire veterinary technician associations. He served on multiple National Association of Veterinary Technicians in America, which is NAVTA, much easier to say, committees, and was the 2021 NAVTA president. He obtained his VTS in nutrition in 2014 and lectures frequently on various topics at local, regional, national, and international veterinary conferences. Ed also received the NAVTA Technician of the Year Award in 2019. And it was my pleasure to have Ed come and give you his wonderful speech. He's a great speaker.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I really appreciate that. Congratulations, graduates, and welcome to the best profession that there is. With your chosen profession, you now are part of the veterinary healthcare team and are going to move forward with helping not only your patients, but the people who love them. Our profession, while it is the very best, is very young. Many people don't realize that. It was the United States Air Force that first developed an animal technician training program in 1951. That's only 74 years ago. It wasn't until 1972 that the American Veterinary Medical Association established its first credentialing procedures, again for animal technician programs. And it wasn't until 1989 that the American Veterinary Medical Association approved the term veterinary technician, only 36 years ago. So you're joining a very young career path and a very young career. But our profession is growing and changing, evolving and advancing. I started my career many, many years ago, as you can probably tell, in a very small general practice in rural upstate New Hampshire, where none of our hospitalized patients even had IV catheters. They all got sub-Q fluids, and just about all of the hospitalized patients, I think, got an injection of antibiotics. I'm not really sure why. It was just because, right? We didn't have digital radiography or even anything that advanced in our equipment library, right? We hand-dipped x-rays on film and developed it in a darkroom. Right? And so you might imagine if an animal moved, how many takes it might take you to get a really good x-ray, right? At that practice and at many practices during that time, the veterinarian did most of the work that really a veterinary technician should be doing. Drawing blood, placing a catheter if someone got one, some things like that. So now, though, as we know, our profession has grown so much and our educational programs have become so rigorous that now our credentialed veterinary technicians are doing all of those things and so much more. We're placing central lines. We're placing arterial catheters. We're doing the entire dental procedure for those that don't need extractions. Do all of those kinds of things, but then we also go on, as your instructors do, to teach in veterinary technology programs like this one. We write books and contribute to books, to research, and work in industry. Now, the very first National Veterinary Conference I went to didn't have even one technician speaker on the panel. And now it's very unusual to have a conference that doesn't have multiple technician speakers on that panel. Oftentimes, as a veterinary technician specialist, actually providing continuing education to veterinarians in some cases. Think of that and how our profession has grown. And know that your opportunities as you move forward and continue to learn and grow in your profession are really endless. As an integral member of the veterinary healthcare team, you're really going to play several roles, and in addition to your technical and nursing care skills. Someone mentioned earlier, advocate. Advocate for your patients. Excuse me, you are their voice. Advocate for your clients. Help them to understand. Educate them. Console them. Advocate for your colleagues, your fellow technicians, the assistants that will support you, front desk staff who oftentimes have the very worst job in the clinic, and for veterinarians even. But advocate for yourself as well. Remember, your profession, your opinion matters. Advocate for your profession. We've come a long way, as I've kind of tried to illustrate, but we really have so much work to do. So embrace and promote a culture of learning in the veterinary hospitals that you work in. Not just formal education, which of course is so important, but also with continuing education, but also just from the informal education and learning that happens every day as we teach one another as we go about our jobs. So help others that are coming into the profession. Learn from those who have been there for a while as well. Because knowledge is essential, and developing that culture of learning is how many adult learners really learn best. When we and our colleagues are encouraged to share knowledge with one another, then we all become more engaged in learning. This really does help to build a very strong culture and strengthens teamwork. But also, never forget the reason you chose this role on the veterinary healthcare team: to support, care for, and advocate for your patients and the people who love them. Hopefully, I don't have to tell this class that one of the most important next steps you can do is to take the VTNE, the Veterinary Technician National Exam. Over the years, I have known and have worked with multiple graduates who never took that step. Don't let that be you. You need to take that national exam and become a credentialed veterinary technician. If you're in Massachusetts, then apply to the Massachusetts Veterinary Technician Association for certification. Right? But also, in addition to joining the MVTA, join NAFTA as well, your national association, because it is there as your advocate. But we, both the Massachusetts Veterinary Technician Association and the National Veterinary Technician Association of America, we also need you to be able to do any advocacy for the profession. Not only do we need the small amount of money that your dues are actually going to cost you, a very tiny amount in comparison to many other professions, but we also need your numbers. When we go to sponsors to ask for additional funds to help with some of the legislation that we may be doing, or we're going to speak to legislatures about requiring licensure in the state of Massachusetts or any other state, they always want to know, how many members do you have? So as I said in the beginning, our profession really has come a long way in the short time since its inception, and it's continuing to grow and advocate. The MVTA is advocating to require licensure in the state. NAFTA is advocating for licensure in all states, in the 10 or so that don't actually require it at this point. Requiring graduation from an accredited veterinary technician or veterinary nursing program, passing the VTNE, and continuing education to maintain your license is all how we help to elevate our profession. All other medical professions, whether they are human or veterinary, require those things, right? Require graduation from a college program, passing a national exam, and continuing education to maintain your license. We need to do that too. Having credentials in all states will help to move our profession forward, and you can be instrumental in making that happen. This is your chosen profession, so get involved. I know it's hard with everything else you have going on in your life, but it really is your profession and we need you to grow. So embrace the future, be influential in making positive change. Take the excitement you're feeling today and next week at the actual graduation ceremony into your professional life, and let's work together to advance our profession even more and do amazing things. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Ed. So now it's the part that everybody's been waiting for. It is time for the pinning ceremony. So you'll hear your graduate's name called, and the person who is doing the pinning would come up at the same time. And then if you want a quick photo, and then we'll move on with the rest of the ceremony. So Hillary, Jess. Do you need to list the names?
Huh?
You want to list the names?
Here we go.
Oh, so Jess, you're going to be on that side.
Okay. Can I have Rachel Chisholm, please? Sarah DeVincent. Sarah Hancock. Susan Harmon. Jocelyn Mayotte. Well, now you just jinxed it. Thank you. Elise Stone. Juliette Tarnuzer. And Audrey, I am so sorry, but you guys all know I'm notoriously horrible at names, and it's immediately gone out of my mouth. Audrey, come on up. Okay, and we have one more person who is not on the list in your program. And this is someone that has been very important to all of us, especially over the past year. She was actually one of my first students when I started teaching 5 years ago, and then right at the start of the pandemic. And it was because of the pandemic that we didn't get to have a pinning ceremony. So for our final pin, we have Jess Pelland. She didn't know we were doing this.
All right, well, that concludes the ceremony. I want to thank everybody for coming. Before you do leave, we have some food and some cupcakes that we'll be putting out, some refreshments, and everybody wants to just mingle for a little bit, or you can leave if you'd like, but it'd be nice if you could stick around, maybe do some pictures and stuff. Oh, what? Oh, see, I forgot. Don't let me up here by myself. It's not good. Oh. We'll wait till she passes those out. Thank you. I was all excited. I was like, woohoo. Oh, yes, we had one extra. I do want to say we do have one graduate that was unable to make it, Avery Gagney. So we'll make sure we get her pin and everything to her. All right, so I did forget one thing. So everybody here who is a veterinary technician or is about to be, could you please stand and we will recite the vet tech oath, please. And I don't have it up here, so I'll just let you guys go ahead and start. Oh, wait, I found one. Aiding animals in society by providing excellent care and services for animals, by alleviating animal suffering, and by promoting public health. I accept my obligations to practice my profession conscientiously and with sensitivity, adhering to the profession code of ethics, and furthering my knowledge and competence through a commitment of lifelong learning. Congratulations, everybody. I'm so proud of all of you.